Hey everyone, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel. It's finally a bright sunny day so we can get this book haul filmed. It's one of those days where I have nothing planned reading wise. I give myself off at least one day a week where reading is not a priority. I don't plan to do any reading today. I'm gonna film this. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna watch some TV. I'm gonna take a bubble bath and I'm gonna go to bed. And it is going to be heavenly. But let's get into the book haul. So quite a few things here this month, and we're only halfway through the month, but this should probably be it as I have reached my budget, so we gotta stop. Yeah, some good stuff though, some stuff I'm really excited about. So the first book is Jenny Chang's Dragon Springs Road. I don't know what this is about. This is one of those books when I saw that it was released in January and somehow snuck past me. I clicked buy and here it is. I bought this off of the strength of Jenny Chang's last novel, Three Souls, which I read before it came out. I did a blog tour for it and loved it so much. It was one of my favorite reads of like 2014 or 2015. I think it was 2014 when I read it, and she can tell a historical story, and so she likes to tell some like Chinese historical fiction that are female-centric stories, and this is no different. It looks like it takes place in 1908, and yeah, in China, and some stuff is gonna go on. You know, I just don't need to know because I love Three Souls so much, and if you have not read Three Souls, you need to go on somewhere, find it, get it for yourself, sit down, and just enjoy it. And I hope to have the same experience with Dragon Springs Road. So that was really exciting. I cannot believe that snuck past me. So there's a book that won quite a lot of awards, and I've been hearing a lot more about it recently because it just came out in paperback. So I decided to pick it up. It's nonfiction, and it's by Matthew Desmond, and it's Evicted, Poverty and Profit in the American City. Won so many awards, has been nominated for even more. I mean, you guys, look at all these like best of lists. I mean, it's supposedly phenomenal. And Matthew Desmond is a Harvard sociologist and MacArthur genius, so he basically follows 8 families in Milwaukee as they each struggle to keep a roof over their heads. Yeah. So it's about Evicted transforms our understanding of poverty and economic exploitation while providing fresh ideas for solving one of 21st century America's most devastating problems. Its unforgettable scenes of hope and loss remind us of the centrality of home, without which nothing else is possible. Gonna enjoy that one, you know, in as much as you can enjoy nonfiction about poverty. So the next book, I wanted to get Melissa Phoebus's newest memoir, Abandon Me, but I decided that I would read the one that came before, so that I could have more context for Abandon Me. So I picked up Whipsmart by Melissa Phoebus, the true story, of a secret life. And I mean, everyone says that Melissa Phoebus is just an amazing writer. So this memoir so she came to New York City as a college freshman to attend the new school. She'd always been a bit of a nonconformist, but she hadn't planned to find herself 2 years later juggling her coursework with a job as a professional dominatrix in a midtown dungeon. If that doesn't make you want to read it, nothing I could say afterwards would, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm excited. And then another memoir, I'm just having a moment with some nonfiction here, has just a beautiful, stunning cover, and I've heard about it in multiple places now. Everyone says really lovely things, and that is Traveling with Ghosts by Shannon Leon Fowler. Look at this. Look at the jellyfish. And down the back too. It's just fabulous. The story, however, is heartbreaking. It's blurred by like Kelly Link and Ruth Ozeki and Dorothy Allison. Some real big names there. It's basically her and her fiance were traveling through Asia. Traveling was kind of their thing as a couple, and he got stung by a box jellyfish, which is basically the most venomous creature on the planet, or one of. And he dies within minutes, and she recounts dealing with that, dealing with, you know, being in a foreign country and her fiance having died, the aftermath of his death, and her grief. And in her grief, she continues to travel in the ways, but to really kind of complicated places and complicated countries with complicated pasts. And that's how she really sort of explores her grief and deals with her grief and gets through her grief. And this is a memoir of that, and I think it's going to be fantastic. I really enjoy, not enjoy again, it's not the right word, but I like reading anything having to do with grief as its central focus, especially memoir. So, and that cover, you just can't go wrong with that cover. The next book is sort of a whim buy. Rebecca Shinsky talked it up though, and the way she talked about it just meant I could not buy it immediately, and that is Spaceman of Bohemia by Jaroslav Kalfar. I know I mispronounced that. I'm so sorry. So this is a weird little book. It's blurred by Samantha Hunt, so that's interesting. He's from Prague, but he immigrated to the US when he was 15. And this, I think, is just a really weird, maybe, version of something sort of like The Martian. He's going to space. He's alone in deep space. His sanity is teetering, and he gains an unlikely companion, which is possibly imaginary, a giant alien spider, and you can kind of see it, and he like has conversations with this spider, and that's all I know. And I didn't need to know more than that, and I don't want to know more than that. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with. Traveling to space, alone, talking to alien spider. I think there's gonna be some philosophy and some deep conversations. I just really like that a whole lot. The next book, I think, has been on everyone's radar and everyone's heard of it, and it's not surprising that I bought it. And that's Lincoln and Bardo by George Saunders. This is his first novel, but he is not new to writing by any means. He's written very many short story collections, and he is quite a famous, prolific writer. He's very strange. And I read 10th of December, which was his last short story collection when it came out paperback anyway. And I think it maybe only came out, I don't know, it's not the point. This is his first novel. It takes place, it's experimental, it takes place on one night, and Abraham Lincoln of presidential fame, spends an evening in a cemetery visiting his son's grave. And shenanigans. I've heard the audiobook is really good too, but I think I need to read something like this in print. So, yeah. Again, the premise it's got me. And then I have my 2 book of the month picks. I've taken to picking 2. Why not? I think next month I'm gonna do 3 because I did not pick Exit West for some reason, and that needs to happen. So I'll throw in Exit West next month and probably read it immediately, because it's the only book I want to read right now and I don't have it. Okay, so I picked All Grown Up by Jamie Attenberg. This is one of my most anticipated releases of 2017. I loved St. Maisie. Just unabashedly loved it so much. And so I was so excited to listen to this because they were like, it's so much better and it's darker and it's just, it cuts you so much sharper and it's so smart, and it's about a woman and, 39, 40, and she's single by choice and she doesn't have kids and she's like totally okay with that. And it's just a really poignant, honest, raw book about a middle-aged woman leading her life, and it's told in a really interesting fashion. I think I might do a review on this So I'm not going to go too much into it. I did talk about it in my last chat video quite a bit. I hadn't finished it at that point, I don't think. Maybe I had. It's a sit down and read in one go kind of book. It's really good. Yes. Jamie Attenberg. More people need to read her. And then I also picked, you guys, this book is also one I really desperately want to read. It's called Marlena by Julie Button. I don't think this is out yet. I don't think it comes out until April, but it's about female friendship. The story of two girls in the wild year that will cost one her life and define the others for decades. I love a good book about some female friendship-centered stories. There are two reasons I really wanted this. The first is the Ursula K. Le Guin quote in the front, and it's, "I'll make my report as if I told a story, for I was taught as a child in my home world that truth is a matter of the imagination." Huh, what a great, look, I even like the title page, how it's just done a little differently. I don't know, you guys, this book, something about it tells me it's going to be 5 stars. But the first paragraph, you guys. "Tell me what you can't forget, and I'll tell you who you are. I switch off my apartment light, and she comes with the dark. The train's eye widens in the tunnel, and there she is on the tracks, blonde hair swinging. One of our old songs starts playing, and I lose myself right in the middle of the cereal aisle. Sometimes, late at night, when I'm fumbling with a key outside my apartment door, my eyes meet my reflection in the hallway mirror, and I see her, waiting." Was always going to read that shit. As soon as I read it, I knew it would be mine. And the last book I have to show y'all, it just came out on Tuesday, and it is The Wonders by Meg Howry. This I have heard mixed things about, but it's beautiful. Just take a moment. It's a gorgeous book. Look at the little spaceman. This is about a group of, I think, 3 astronauts, and they are prepping to go on a Mars mission. But they're like in the middle of the Nevada desert, maybe? Basically having to go through the entire mission there in order to prepare for the actual mission. And so they've spent all this time away from their family members. And so it's kind of like their perspectives during this time and like their family members and their loved ones' perspectives during this time. And I've heard it's just really introspective and quiet. And talks a lot about humans and relationships and things. And it sounds like the kind of thing that is right up my alley. Slow, thoughtful, meandering, human stuff. So I'm excited. And you know what? The cover is enough. Let's be honest. It's enough. So there you have it. Those are my current March purchases. I do have one more book on the way. I'll just put it into April's. I'm really excited about it though. Maybe I'll read it just immediately and review it. Who knows? Alright. Bye guys.